Guys, welcome back to the Bad Hombre Garage. I hope everybody's doing all right. I'm pretty excited to be back out here working on the old car. I got a little bit of an update for us on how close we are to Operation Roadworthy. Alright, so I'm back in here. I did a couple of things to the car since the last time you guys saw me. Last thing I did was finished up all my wiring, but I did a couple of odds and ends, and to be honest, I didn't film it because my kids were out here helping me, and I enjoyed that quite a bit, and I don't put my kids on my YouTube videos for the channel, so it was a good trade-off. I figured, you know what, I'll do the work, and then I hope you guys don't mind just getting to see the end result. First off, I pulled the car off of my roll-around stands because I'm just about to where I think I can drive it a little bit, almost. We're getting close enough anyway. And a couple other things we did. I installed the Go pedal last night. It's more straight than it looks, but that was kind of a pain. And I tell you what, that's like one of those things on the car. I don't know about you guys, but like some things like where the gas pedal goes, you just got to drill some holes and make it happen. I just spend a lot of time figuring and looking and mocking it up, and finally I just said heck with it. I just drilled some holes and off we went. So we got it mounted. I'll show you on the engine what that involved. The other thing I finished up was I got my steering column. Well, I put my steering wheel on, and I think that steering column was all in last time, but I tell you what I forgot to do was put my little bracket down on the base of the steering column, the firewall. I need to do that. That's going to be kind of a pain in the butt. I just got to loosen it up, unhook my steering stuff, slip it out, put that clamp on and slip it back in. I fixed a big fuel leak underneath by my fuel pump, as I don't know what happened there, but for some reason I was down there and I pushed the fuel line to get my get it out of the way so I could hook up my battery, because we also put the battery disconnect switch in, and started running fuel. So I did the old fuel in my hair, gas in my armpit, and until I could get it all drained and replaced or tightened down the fitting on the fuel pump. So I also got rear coilover shocks. I don't even know what to say about them. I got them from they're Johnny Law Motors. They're I think Helix is the brand. I think they're made straight out of Wuhan, China, probably. But these were 200 bucks, shipped to my door, 2-day shipping for the pair. And to be honest, I was gonna go on Speedway and order some because I needed kind of an oddball length. They got to be like 14 inches in the mounted position. And so I went on Speedway Motors to order them, and they were back ordered, not knowing when they're going to be available. So I thought, well, I'll upgrade to even the better ones, also back ordered. So I said, fine, I'm buying the cheap ones. So I went and $199.99, shipped to the door. Now I'm a pretty handy guy, but it would have been nice if they came with some instructions on how to put them all together, because they don't. But anyway, here you go. Here's my coilover shocks. You can probably get a better view at that one. They look nice. They fit well. Yeah, I don't know what to say about them. They probably ride like garbage, and I'll get what I paid for, and you'll see me put new shocks on this thing eventually. The other thing I did was I used a little piece of scrap metal, welded on here. Now I have my master switch mounted, which involved taking my cable and putting a terminal end on it twice so that I could tie it into the switch there. And that's when I had my leak on my fuel pump. Anyway, there you go. That stuff under the back of the car is done. Let me move us up to the front of the car and I'll show you what else I did. Okay, I did a couple of things on the front of the car as well. I connected the end of my steering, which I'll show you here. Just this little mid shaft here, and it has 2 U-joints, one on each end. Ties right into the box and then into the column coming out. Again, I don't know if it's right, but it's not going anywhere. It can't go anywhere. And either way, I do have to release that to slide the column out, put that bracket in like I talked about. But that's in, and it works, looks good. And then the other thing I did was hook up my throttle cable, which this is just the Speedway cheapo universal throttle cable. Again, no instructions. I kind of had to just wag it, figure it out. But I did by putting on this bracket, bending it down here so that it's in line with my tunnel ram linkage. Okay, so the other thing I did was I made my catch can, and you guys saw it explode water all over the garage when I first ran the engine because I didn't have one. But here we are. Let me give you some details. That's the big picture, what it looks like. That looks, well, it looks okay. It looks better without the light on it. But this is a quart, like weed eater gas, premix gas can that I had laying around. And all I did was come in here and use some 5/16 line, hard line. Drilled it, put it in there, used some of that JB Weld quick steel stuff, putty. Stuck it on there, it's hard. I put a fitting through the cap and a hose on it. And this is where the water comes in through the cap part. You can see that's where the hose comes in. It's got a hard line bent around the back. And this line goes all the way up to the top. So this has to fill all the way up before it drains out there and exits to the atmosphere. And I just happened to have this nice shiny piece of sheet metal laying around that I was able to bend around there. Bolt it right to the grill shell. I don't know how it works. The internet tells me that it will suck the water back into the radiator and all that once after it pukes. I don't know. We'll see. It's basically the same design as one of those quart jugs you order off Summit or Jags or something to tie into your radiator as an overflow tank. So yeah, it's good. It's better than nothing, and it's better than just you know, stuffing a hose into a, you know, empty bottle and wiring it to it. It's kind of a rat rod, but it's not that much of a rat rod. I noticed a few other things I need to work on the car. These bolts aren't holding it very well. They're little screws, so I'm probably going to drill that out, put some 1/4" bolts on my fuel block. I got to reattach my fuel line. I had it disconnected to drain the fuel with the other fuel leak I had the other day. Now that brings me to my current project. Today I figure out the doors. So some of you experts out there with these Model A's will probably have some real quick and easy tips on how to make the doors fit. If you do, throw them down in the comments, because I'll probably be tweaking these after my after this video is done. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to mount my door up here. I'm going to start fitting gaps. I can tell you, I know that this car always, since the day I picked it up, the door sagged. And so I know one of the ways to do that is to tweak my body mounts a little bit, like the cowl section. Picture the cowl, right? If I pull down the front of the cowl, it'll tilt it forward slightly, and that should bring my door into alignment some, which I'm going to try to do. Hopefully I don't have to bend any hinges or anything, but we'll see. I'm not afraid to do that if I have to. I just want it to close appropriately. The other thing I got going on is this. No hardware inside my door handle. So I picked up a couple of Speedway's mini bear latch mechanisms, and my plan is once my door's on the car and aligned, I got to go in and do some modifications. Time to modify and get rid of the old original Model A catch, and I'll put in my bear claw post on this side, and then you know, the bear claw on the door itself, which gets a little tricky with the Model A's, but we'll get into that a little bit later. So there you are. You're updated on what's going on with the car. I'm gonna work on these doors a little bit, and I'll bring you back when I kind of figure out what I'm doing with them. All right. Hey guys, I'm working on this door. Man, there's probably some real good Model A purists out there that have some good tips. And I've done my research to try to figure it out. Let me show you what I've got going on here. So this is actually much better. It used to be when I closed this door, you could see a 1/2" gap between the top of the door and the bottom of the door frame. This was a good 1/2 inch off. Further than that, it just didn't line up at all. And so what I learned is a couple things. Trying to fix this gap, I had to put a little bit of spacer behind this top hinge, and that brought this gap within. I mean, it's closer. I might put one more shim behind it. Actually that's pretty good. Okay, and then the bottom one, I don't know what to do about that gap. I gotta keep tweaking on things a little bit. But the door actually closes pretty darn close. So I'm laughing because I'm not I'm not going to even put it on video, the process I'm using. People might get mad. It's just, there's a 4-pound hammer, a floor jack involved. So far so good though. I think I'm going to get this thing in shape and then I'll bring it back. Alright, well, I'm back. I've been finessing the hinges on this door to fall into place, and here's where I ended up. Everything lines up close enough that I put my regular pins in to get it nice and tight. And when I bring it in, that's where I'm at. Man, I've got like 1/8 of an inch probably to lift it up. So it's much better. I'm actually just about happy with that. I just got to make this bottom hinge come forward just a little bit on the door to push it back a little bit, or something like that. I don't know. I'm pretty happy with how this came out. So time to take a little break, get a little dinner. Maybe I'll be back out because the next thing I have to do is tackle this latch, or lack thereof, and make it stay closed. We'll see how it goes. Alright guys, let me show you what I'm going to quit with here. I'm pretty happy with this fit right here. I got my door pins in. My gap isn't too atrocious. It's almost consistent on the front. My belt line, it's pretty close. Maybe 1/8 of an inch off. I'm gonna go with it. I just needed to get my hinges lined up and get it close because the next thing I have to do is figure out my latch. So I don't want to go with the original Model A latch mechanism. As you can see here, all it is something that bolts in here, and the door handle works the slider that would snap into place right here on this part and catch inside here. I don't want to use that. From what I've heard, you get a little body tweak and stuff, your door will fly open, you go around corners, that kind of thing. So I'm not going to use it. But the challenge with Model A doors is this. I don't know if you can tell, but right here is where the window channel rides. And in fact, well, you can see here how far in the door it comes out. If I look down inside the door, maybe if I give you some light, huh? You can see where the window channel rides inside this door, which is going to preclude using this area right here for a striker and keeping it inside here, or for the bear cloth style latch. So enter Speedway's mini bear claw style latch. This is what I get to do next, is try to figure out how to mount this on the car. And it's going to be a little tricky because there's just not a lot of space. It's going to have to sit something about like that. You know, but it'll be inside. I'll cut this out and it'll go in about that far. Anyway, I'll get to do some fabricating and reshaping of some stuff. But you get to figure that out next time, just like I do. So do me a favor, hit subscribe. You want to see what comes up next, share this with a buddy. I'm trying to grow this channel, and I'll tell you, I got about 185 subscribers right now, and I'm very appreciative of each one of them. Thank you guys. I really appreciate you guys. Clicking the button, following, putting comments in there, it makes it fun. I really do have a good time doing this, so thank you guys. Hey, we'll see you guys next time. Follow along as we try to make these door close and get this thing closer to being road worthy. Take care.